Hello, my friends. We are finally here. The High Alpine Road, after 1,000 kilometers driven. Through Germany, through the Czech Republic, and through Austria, in my Model 3 Performance. I have to admit though, this was a trip that I probably wouldn't have embarked on if it wasn't for this YouTube channel and the overwhelming feedback you guys have giving me on my videos. I first started my channel to try and focus on some factual testing with my car, as I know a lot of guys were interested in that. It then slowly ignited a passion in me for storytelling and video editing, which then turned my channel into more of an electric car kind of vlog, I suppose, rather than a car testing channel. And I have to say, I really enjoy this format a lot more. It pushes me to go out on adventures, experience new things, document them, and share them with an audience that also appreciates these things. So yeah, what I guess I'm trying to say is, this channel will probably be more consisting of small adventures like this. For a small channel like mine, it's incredibly difficult to get my hands on other electric cars to test. So until I grow in my subscriber number, I'm going to focus on showing you guys some interesting places we go to in Europe. Like this High Alpine Road in Austria. I mean, isn't it just amazing? And since we're out of season, the roads are almost completely empty. And this view, I mean, just breathtaking. And there I suddenly found myself with my Model 3 Performance, 3,800 meters above sea level, in some of the most incredible scenery Mother Nature has to offer. For the entire route, I constantly had to pull over after every few minutes of driving, just to stop for a second and enjoy this spectacular view. One thing is driving here during the high season, but there's something magical about being the only person here, an indescribable serenity. It's almost a surreal experience. I absolutely must recommend this to everyone, at least once in your life. Come down to the High Alpine Road at the end of the season and go for a spectacular drive. It doesn't matter what car you drive or how old you are. Just come over here and see for yourself how amazing the world can be. I hope the drone footage looks alright. It's a 7-year-old drone that I've never gotten to use before now, so the camera is probably a little outdated. Here during the edit at least, the colours looked a bit odd. Hopefully it still shows how amazing this place is. Here I had set the drone up to hover in a fixed position, hoping to get a cool shot of me passing by. Remember me saying this is the first time I flew the drone? Yep, don't leave the remote outside, as you then won't hear the battery being low, and that it decides to crash on its own. Luckily I managed to find it again. It could have crashed a lot of worse places, as I was actually hovering directly over the cliff. Let's jump in and take a final drive though. Sadly I still have to head back at some point, even if I wanted to stay here all day. I mean, how couldn't you? Empty roads, this scenery, a Tesla Model 3 Performance. Okay, you know what, I have to be completely honest. There is one thing that I missed while cruising these roads, and that was an engine sound. Yes, I know, my fellow electric drivers. But you know, I think we would be kidding ourselves if we didn't enjoy the sound of a roaring V8. Now just imagine that, through these roads, between these mountains. That would be absolutely epic. As fun as an electric car is to drive, especially this one, there is just something missing from your senses to complete the experience. And that is a proper soundstage. I know the Taycan, BMW and the likes have some artificial sounds, and while they definitely help, I don't think it will ever be able to replace the sound of a real engine. And just as I've been babbling along, it seems we have caught up to another car. I don't want to overtake others like some madman on these roads, so let's see if we can't get along for now. I'll be honest, I really don't mind following behind people going the speed limit, but every time there's a sharp turn, they slow down far too much. At least compared to what I'm able to do in this car anyways. Seeing as I also came for a bit of fun on these roads, I had to try and pass them, at least on a section where it would be safe to do so. Now just one more to go. Please don't forget to enjoy this horizon. Absolutely breathtaking. Now for this overtake, Can I please get the opinion of you guys in the comments? I don't think I did anything outrageous, but it still seemed to cause him getting upset. While I did accelerate and speed for a couple of seconds, it was only in order to quickly do the overtaking. I know some drivers have a problem with their egos, and I'd like to think that this was just one of those, or perhaps I was in the wrong here. What do you guys think? One of my favourite things about driving electric is that you hardly need to use the brakes. The recuperation, at least in a Tesla, is plenty of strong to use for braking, and it's just a super pleasant feeling to know you're not wearing out your brake pads on descents like this. This next part features a bit of sportier driving, and I must say, this car does it very well. The way it pushes out of corners and maintains grip throughout is quite impressive, especially considering the price, and not to mention how efficiently you can enjoy a drive like this. Our consumption due to regenerative braking is only at 61 watt-hours per 100 kilometers. Amazing. And just look at these roads. Incredible. I can definitely see myself coming back next year. Perhaps it would be fun to see if we could maybe organise a group sort of trip for EV drivers. Write a comment if you think that's something you'd consider taking part in. Now let's enjoy some more twisties. And yeah, that's the High Alpine Road for you, I suppose. It continues further up ahead, and there are multiple routes and other directions you can also take. I just did this one trip up and down, but next year I want to come back and explore the others too. What a day it has been though, and it's not even over yet, it's just 11 AM. We still have to drive the mountain back up and down as we head on back towards Germany. For now though, I'm continuing to head on up the mountain to see where this road takes me. This is the first time driving here, so everything is new territory. One thing I know for sure though, is that it is a fantastic road to be driving on a sunny day like this. This is the final stretch towards the end of the High Alpine Road, I guess. This road at least ends at a restaurant, or museum of sorts. I'm not actually sure, as everything seemed to be closed for some reason. Odd. I know there aren't many visitors on a day like this, but it is still within the open season. What a day it has been though. Definitely the highlight of my Model 3 ownership so far. I know a lot of people complain about not being able to do long distances in an electric car, but I really don't think it's an issue. For me so far, it certainly hasn't been. In my next video, I'm going to try and make a summary of all my charging stops, the consumption of my trip, and the total cost of it all. We'll also drive back through Austria, which again offers some spectacular views of what I believe is one of the most beautiful countries of Europe. So yes, I'm afraid we've now reached the end of yet another episode. I hope you enjoyed this new kind of format, and in case you want to see more, please do consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope to see you again in the next one. Cheers.